Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Postcard English Stories, the podcast where we practice English through real stories and useful ideas in a calm and easy to understand way. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a simple but powerful way to manage your time. It's called the Pomodoro Technique. Have you ever sat down to study or get something done, but just a few minutes later you picked up your phone, checked your messages, or scrolled through social media? Maybe you told yourself, I'll just take a short break. But suddenly, an hour passed and you hadn't done anything. If that sounds familiar, don't worry. You're not alone. In today's world, it's hard to focus. There are notifications, distractions, noise, and so many things fighting for our attention. So how can we stay focused? How can we work more effectively and still feel good at the end of the day? One great answer is the Pomodoro Technique, a method that's simple, low-tech, and proven to help. Now, don't let the name confuse you. Pomodoro is the Italian word for tomato. The method is actually named after a little tomato-shaped kitchen timer. Here's how the story goes. Back in the late 1980s, a university student in Italy named Francesco Turillo was having trouble studying. He felt tired, overwhelmed, and distracted. Then one day he found a small kitchen timer that looked like a tomato. He had an idea. He set the timer for 25 minutes and told himself, "For the next 25 minutes, I'll only focus on studying. Nothing else." When the timer rang, he stopped and took a short break. And to his surprise, it worked. He felt more focused, less tired, and more productive. From that experience, he created what we now call the Pomodoro Technique. The basic idea is simple. Break your work into small time blocks, usually 25 minutes, and take regular breaks in between. Each 25-minute block is called a Pomodoro. After each Pomodoro, you take a 5-minute break. After 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break, maybe 15 to 30 minutes, to give your brain a chance to rest and reset. So why does this work so well? First, it helps you stop procrastinating. When you think I have to study for 3 hours, it feels hard and boring. But when you think I just need to focus for 25 minutes, it feels simple and doable. It's easier to start, and starting is often the hardest part. Second, it trains your focus. When you practice staying focused for short periods, your brain learns how to avoid distractions. Over time, your ability to concentrate will get stronger. Third, it helps you stay energized. The short breaks give your mind time to recover so you don't feel mentally drained. You can actually get more done in less time and still feel fresh. And fourth, it gives you a sense of progress. After every Pomodoro, you can check off one task. That little feeling of accomplishment keeps you motivated to continue. So how do you actually do it? Step 1. Choose one task you want to work on. It could be studying English, reading, writing, cleaning, anything that needs focus. Step 2. Set a timer for 25 minutes. During that time, focus only on your task. No phones, no messages, no multitasking. Step 3. When the timer rings, stop. Take a short 5-minute break. Stretch, get a drink, walk around, but don't scroll on your phone. Step 4. Start another 25-minute session. After 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break, maybe 15 to 30 minutes. This longer break helps your brain recover so you can keep going strong. You can use this technique for almost anything: studying for exams, doing homework, reading a book, writing an essay, even doing creative work like drawing or painting. And the best part, it's perfect for learning English. You can use one Pomodoro to listen to a podcast, one to read an article, another to write a short summary or new vocabulary. Just 1 or 2 Pomodoros a day can make a big difference over time. Here are a few tips to help you succeed with Pomodoro. First, try using a physical timer or a simple online tool, not your phone, so you don't get distracted. Second, turn off notifications during your Pomodoro session. Third, write down your to-do list before you begin, so you always know what to focus on. And finally, don't skip the breaks. They're just as important as the work time. The Pomodoro Technique may sound too simple to be effective, but that's exactly why it works. You don't need fancy tools, expensive software, or a complicated system. All you need is a timer and a little commitment. So why not give it a try? After this episode, pick one task, just one, and set a timer for 25 minutes. Work with full focus. Take a short break and see how you feel. You might be surprised by how much you can accomplish in such a short time. Thanks for listening to Postcard English Stories. In the next episode, we'll talk about how to use Pomodoro specifically for learning English and how to build a simple study routine using just a few focused minutes a day. See you next time. Now that we understand what the Pomodoro Technique is and why it works, let's talk about something even more important: how you can actually use it to learn English more effectively. Learning English isn't just about working hard, it's about working smart. And the Pomodoro Technique helps you do exactly that. Instead of trying to study for hours and getting tired or distracted, you focus deeply for short periods of time, just 25 minutes, then take a break. This makes studying feel easier and helps you build a steady, productive rhythm. The first thing to remember is this: during each Pomodoro, you focus on one specific skill. That's the key. Don't try to do everything at once. Each Pomodoro is like a little training session for your brain, and just like at the gym, it's more effective when you work on one area at a time. So, for example, in your first Pomodoro, you might work on listening. Then in the next one, you could switch to reading or vocabulary or maybe writing. It's totally flexible, but the important part is that during each 25-minute block, your attention is 100% on one task. Let's go through the main English skills one by one, and I'll show you how you can use Pomodoro for each of them. We'll start with listening. During a 25-minute Pomodoro, you can choose a short podcast, a video on YouTube, or a movie clip with subtitles. First, just listen to understand the general idea. Then go back and listen again, this time, trying to catch more detail. You can even pause and repeat after the speaker. That's a great technique called shadowing. It helps you improve both listening and pronunciation. You can also write down some new words or phrases you hear. In just one Pomodoro, you've trained your ears, your memory, and your speaking all at the same time. Next, we have reading. Choose something interesting, maybe a short article, a blog post, or even a short story. The important thing is to read something that's not too difficult, but still gives you a small challenge. Read it once without stopping. Then go back and underline or highlight new words. In the last few minutes, look up their meanings and try to guess their meaning from context before checking the dictionary. Reading this way improves your vocabulary, grammar, and overall understanding of English in a natural and relaxed way. Now let's talk about vocabulary. Instead of memorizing long word lists, use your Pomodoro to review words in an active way. You can use flashcards, vocabulary apps, or even just a notebook. Read the word, say it out loud, write it in a sentence. For example, if the word is challenge, you could say, "Learning English is a challenge, but I enjoy it." That way, your brain connects the word to real meaning. If you do this every day, even just for 25 minutes, your vocabulary will grow faster than you think. Then there's writing. In a writing Pomodoro, you can write a short journal entry about your day. Describe something you love, or respond to a question like, What makes you happy? Or where would you like to travel? The goal here isn't perfection, it's expression. You can keep your writing private, or you can use online tools like Grammarly to check for errors. If you want more practice, you can write emails, blog posts, or even short stories. Over time, your confidence in writing will improve and so will your grammar and sentence structure. Finally, we come to speaking, the skill that many learners find most difficult, especially when studying alone. But yes, you can still practice speaking during your Pomodoro sessions. You can talk to yourself in English, describe what you see around you, explain your plans for the day, or even answer questions out loud. If you're using a video or podcast, try repeating what you hear, mimicking the tone and rhythm. And if you feel brave, record yourself speaking and listen back. You might be surprised by how much you improve even after a few sessions. So how do you put all of this into a real schedule? Let's say you want to study English 5 days a week, and you have time for 2 Pomodoros per day. That's just 50 minutes total. Here's a simple weekly plan. Monday, Pomodoro 1, listening practice. Pomodoro 2, vocabulary review. Tuesday, Pomodoro 1, reading a short article. Pomodoro 2, writing about what you read. Wednesday, Pomodoro 1, speaking practice. Talk to yourself or shadow a video. Pomodoro 2, listening with subtitles. Thursday, Pomodoro. Grammar. In context, find grammar patterns in reading Pomodoro 2. Vocabulary from the readings. Friday, Pomodoro 1, writing about your week. Pomodoro 2, speaking record, a short summary. You can of course change this plan anytime. Make it fit your interests and your goals. You don't need to follow a perfect system, just stay consistent. Even 1 Pomodoro a day is better than doing nothing at all. And the beauty of this method is that it's flexible. If one day you feel tired, just do 1 Pomodoro. If you're feeling motivated, maybe do 3 or 4. It's up to you. Another great way to use Pomodoro is for review and self-assessment. For example, at the end of the week, you can use a Pomodoro to go back and check what you've learned. Look at the words you added to your notebook. Reread your journal entries. Replay your speaking recordings. This gives you a chance to reflect, correct mistakes, and celebrate your progress. And what should you do during the 5-minute breaks between Pomodoros? Well, the goal is to rest your brain, not to distract it. So instead of jumping on your phone or scrolling social media, try standing up, walking around, stretching, or just closing your eyes for a minute. You can drink some water, listen to calming music, or look out the window. These short breaks help your mind stay fresh and focused for the next session. The main idea is this: each Pomodoro is a focused, intentional learning moment. You don't need to study for hours. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up 1 Pomodoro at a time. And little by little, those sessions will build into real progress. So now that you know how to apply the Pomodoro technique to your English learning routine, you're ready to move forward and start using it in your own way. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner, intermediate, or even advanced. What matters is building a system that supports your learning style and keeps you going. In the next section, we'll explore the specific benefits of using the Pomodoro technique, not just for language learning, but for your mind, your motivation, and your lifestyle. So now that you know how to use the Pomodoro technique in your daily English practice, you might be wondering, what exactly are the benefits of studying this way? What makes it different from other study methods? Why does this simple 25-minute timer make such a big difference? Let's explore the key benefits not just for language learning, but for your focus, your motivation, and your everyday mindset. The first and perhaps most powerful benefit is this Pomodoro helps you stop procrastinating. Have you ever looked at a long to-do list and thought, I don't know where to start, or this is too much, I'll do it later? That's procrastination. It happens to all of us, and it usually shows up when a task feels too big, too long, or too boring. But when you say, I'll just focus for 25 minutes, it feels much easier. Your brain accepts it. It doesn't feel like a huge mountain, it feels like a small step. And once you start, it becomes easier to keep going. That's the magic of Pomodoro. It lowers the pressure and helps you begin. The second benefit is that it trains your focus. We live in a world full of distractions, notifications, messages, noise, endless choices. It's hard to pay attention to one thing for a long time. But when you practice doing one task for just 25 minutes without switching, without checking your phone, without multitasking, you're building a muscle in your brain, a focus muscle. And the more you train it, the stronger it becomes. After a few weeks of using Pomodoro, you'll notice you can concentrate more easily not just when studying English, but in other parts of your life too. Another great benefit is increased productivity. You might think that working longer means getting more done, but that's not always true. In fact, working for too long without breaks can make you slower, more tired, and more likely to make mistakes. Pomodoro helps you work smarter, not harder. You get more done in less time and you still feel fresh. That's because the breaks give your brain space to recover and reset. Even a short 5-minute pause helps clear your mind and restore your energy. It's like a reset button for your concentration. Pomodoro also brings a sense of clarity and structure to your day. When you use a timer, you know exactly how long you'll be working and when you'll take a break. This removes a lot of stress and confusion. You don't have to ask how long should I study or when should I stop. You follow the rhythm 25 minutes on 5 minutes off. This routine becomes familiar and comforting. And when you track how many Pomodoros you complete, you can actually see your progress. That simple act of checking off a Pomodoro gives your brain a small reward, a feeling of success. That feeling keeps you motivated to continue. One more important benefit is self-discipline. Let's be honest, studying a language takes commitment. There are days when you feel motivated, and there are days when you don't. But when you build the habit of doing 1 or 2 Pomodoros a day, it becomes part of your routine. Like brushing your teeth or making your bed. It's just something you do. You stop waiting for motivation and start relying on rhythm. And this kind of discipline doesn't feel heavy or forced. It's light, flexible, and respectful of your energy. You're not trying to be perfect. You're just showing up for 25 minutes, and that's enough. And then there's something deeper, a stronger connection with your learning. When you slow down and give your full attention to what you're doing, reading, listening, speaking, you start to feel more present. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop rushing. You start to enjoy the process more. You notice small wins like understanding a new phrase or saying a sentence correctly. These moments may seem small, but they build confidence. They show you that you're moving forward, even if it's just one word, one phrase, one Pomodoro at a time. There's also a benefit many people don't expect: reduced anxiety. If you ever feel anxious about learning English, afraid of making mistakes, or worried you're not improving fast enough, Pomodoro can help calm that fear. Why? Because it gives you structure. When your mind has a clear task, a clear time limit, and a clear break, it relaxes. You no longer have to carry the whole weight of "I have to learn everything." You just focus on what's in front of you right now for 25 minutes. That's all. And that simplicity is incredibly freeing. Another thing I love about Pomodoro is how it helps you respect your energy. Some days you feel full of energy and can do 4 or 5 Pomodoros. Other days you might only manage one, and that's okay. The Pomodoro technique isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent. It lets you listen to your body and your mind. It allows you to say, "Today I'll just do what I can." And that mindset of kindness and flexibility makes your learning journey more sustainable and joyful. Finally, and perhaps most surprisingly, Pomodoro can help you create more free time. Think about it: when you stop wasting time on distractions, when you stop putting things off, when you focus and finish faster, you suddenly have more time left over. Time for rest. Time for fun. Time for other goals. Time for yourself. Instead of spending 3 hours half studying, half scrolling through your phone, you spend one focused hour and then you're done. You're free. That's real freedom, and it's one of the greatest gifts Pomodoro can offer. So when you look at all these benefits, less procrastination, better focus, higher productivity, more structure, more motivation, more self-discipline, less stress, and even more free time, it's easy to see why so many people love this method. It's simple, it's flexible, and it works with your brain, not against it. But of course, like any technique, Pomodoro is most effective when used with care and awareness. In the next part, we'll talk about some important tips and reminders, small things that will help you use Pomodoro correctly and avoid common mistakes. Let's make sure you're getting the most out of every session. Now you know all the great benefits of the Pomodoro technique: better focus, more productivity, less stress, and more freedom. But before you dive in and start using it every day, let's talk about some important tips and reminders to help you get the most out of this method. Because even though Pomodoro is simple, using it the right way can make a big difference. And if you don't use it correctly, you might feel frustrated or give up too soon. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. The first and most important tip is this: protect your Pomodoro time. When you set your timer for 25 minutes, treat it like a promise, a quiet space just for you and your focus. That means putting your phone away, closing social media tabs, and letting others around you know that you're busy. If possible, find a quiet spot where you won't be interrupted. And if you do get interrupted, try to pause and restart the Pomodoro from the beginning. That way, you train your brain to respect the session fully. The second tip is, don't multitask. It's very tempting to do 2 things at once: maybe check your messages while listening to a podcast, or scroll through a website while studying vocabulary. But here's the thing: your brain can't really focus on 2 tasks at the same time. When you split your attention, you lose quality and remember less. So during a Pomodoro, do just one thing, one task. That's what makes the technique powerful: full, deep focus. Tip number 3, take your breaks seriously. A lot of people think I'll just skip the 5-minute break and keep working. But that defeats the whole purpose. The break isn't a reward, it's part of the system. It gives your brain time to rest, recharge, and prepare for the next session. So when the timer rings, stop. Stand up. Walk around. Drink water. Stretch your body. Maybe do some deep breathing. But try not to use your break time to scroll on your phone. That can bring new distractions into your mind and make it harder to refocus. Keep the break light and refreshing. Here's another important one. Don't worry if one Pomodoro doesn't go perfectly. Maybe you got distracted, maybe your mind wandered, or maybe the task was harder than you expected. That's okay. It happens to everyone. What matters is that you came back, that you tried. Pomodoro is not about being perfect. It's about building a habit of showing up. Every time you start the timer again, you're training your brain to focus a little more. Over time, it gets easier. Also, remember to adjust the technique to fit your style. While the classic Pomodoro is 25 minutes of work and 5 minutes of rest, you can change it if needed. Some people prefer 30 minutes or even 45 depending on the task and their energy level. And the breaks can be shorter or longer too. What matters is that you find a rhythm that works for you. The technique is a tool, not a rule. You can shape it to fit your life. Another helpful reminder: choose tasks that are small and clear. If your goal for a Pomodoro is something too big like study English or improve speaking, it might feel overwhelming. Instead, break it down into something more specific. Listen to a podcast and write down 3 new words, or practice describing my day out loud. When your goal is clear and simple, you'll feel more in control and more motivated to start. Let's also talk about planning your Pomodoros in advance. At the beginning of your study session, or even the day before, take a moment to decide what you'll do in each Pomodoro. Maybe write it down in a notebook or use a simple checklist. For example, listening practice, 25 minutes. Vocabulary review, 25 minutes. Short writing task, 25 minutes. When you plan ahead, you waste less time deciding what to do next, and your sessions flow more smoothly. And now, one more important thing: don't compare yourself to others. Some people can do 6 Pomodoros in a day. Others do just 1. Both are okay. Your time, your energy, your journey, they are unique to you. Focus on building your own rhythm and be proud of every small step you take. Consistency is more powerful than speed. If one day you don't have the energy to do a full Pomodoro, that's fine too. Maybe you just set the timer for 10 or 15 minutes. That still counts. The goal is to stay connected to your learning even on slow days. Remember, showing up even a little is always better than doing nothing. You can also use visual cues to help you stay on track. For example, put a small sticker or a mark in your calendar every time you complete a Pomodoro. It feels good to see these marks add up. It creates a sense of momentum. You can even challenge yourself. Let's do 20 Pomodoros this month. These small visual goals keep your motivation alive in a gentle way. Lastly, be kind to yourself. Learning anything, especially a new language, takes time. And life can be busy, unpredictable, and sometimes messy. The Pomodoro Technique is not here to add pressure. It's here to support you. It's here to remind you that progress comes in small, focused steps. You don't have to rush. You just have to keep going. So as you begin or continue your journey with Pomodoro, keep these reminders close. Respect your time, respect your energy, and most of all, respect your effort. Because every minute you spend learning, focusing, and showing up is helping you grow.